Branch of ICI. Heartfully welcome all of you to this webinar on bank audit Excel tools. I heartfully welcome our guest, our faculty for the day, CA Dungur Jain. Very warm welcome, sir. And now I would like to introduce Mr. CA Dungur Jain for the webinar. CA Dungur Jain is commerce graduate and chartered accountant in practice at Madurai. He has passed higher diploma in software engineering. He did his articleship in Messrs. Kumbat and Company, which is located in Chennai. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and passed. He is a fellow member of, and he has also passed DISA. He has also successfully completed Forensic Accounting and Fraud Detection Certificate course conducted by ICAI in year 2021. He has also passed the intermediate examination of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and he has been in practice since 2005 and currently managing partner at Messrs. PSDY and Association, having offices in Chennai, Madurai, Cochin, Pondicherry, and Bangalore. Now, talking about his contribution in this institute, CA Jain sir was elected to Regional Council at SIRC for ICAI for the term 2016 to 19 and 2019 to 22. He served as a secretary at SIRC of ICAI in year 2017-18 and vice chairman of the year 2019-20. And he was chairman of SIRC in 2021. He was awarded the best region at that time of his chairperson. The branch was awarded the best chairmanship award. First ever virtual regional conference, 52nd for the region, was held during 2020, inaugurated by Honorable Minister of Finance, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. World-class eminent faculties addressed on the contemporary topics of professional relevance. He was also appointed as ex officio in 2019-20 for the term 1922 and for the term 16 and 19. Moving further, he has served Madurai branch of SIRC of ICAI in year 2010-11 as member, managing committee member, 11-12 as CICASA chairman, 13-14 as secretary, and 15-16 as chairman. Talking about his merit records, he was a school topper in accountancy in senior secondary examination, college topper in business correspondence, and he was awarded second prize in best presentation in general management. Hats off, sir. And talking about your membership, you are a member in Bombay Chartered Accountancy Society, Mumbai, Association of Chartered Accountants, Chennai, Chartered Accountants Study Circle, Chennai, All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Mumbai. We are really of great pleasure to invite you here on this platform, sir, and may we learn many things from you on Excel tools for bank audit. I heartily invite Dhaval, Kothari, sir, for the welcome address for the faculty, and then we may proceed with the program. Dhaval, sir, please, I hand over to you.
Thank you, Pooja ji. Hello evening to all. I see Dhaval Kothari, Chairman of Jodhpur branch of CIRC of ICI, welcome you on today's virtual CP meeting on use of Excel in bank audit. I extend a very warm welcome and greetings to learned speaker of today's VCM, CA Dungur Jain sir. I also welcome all managing committee members, all the senior members of the profession, participants and viewers. Before doing anything, if we made proper planning, it seems that we have done half of the work. We have seen that technology has changed various things. By using technology, we can get best of results in minutes. Excel is one of the tools from which we can analyze data in few minutes. Before starting of bank audit, we may use Excel and make a query sheet or a questionnaire. Today's VCM will sharpen our skills and increase efficiency in Excel for bank audits. Last but not least, I on behalf of Jodhpur branch wish you all a Indian Happy New Year to all. Thank you, and over to Pooja ji.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite CA Jain, sir, to start with his session. And I would request everyone to please hear him properly and enjoy this session. Hand over to CA Jain, sir.
Thank you, Jodhpur branch. headed by CA Dhaval ji, who invited me to speak, and this keeps me ensuring that my levels or my Excel skills are intact actually. So thanks to the branch, and thanks Pooja ji for giving a nice introduction. But next time I'll condense it because I feel it was a little longer actually when I heard all myself. Anyway.
Your achievements are endless, and we enjoy speaking your achievements.
Thank you. So friends, today we are all gathered to, take the benefit using technology. And I always cherish one nice quote of Lenin, who said that in decades, nothing happened, and in weeks, decade happened. Probably 2020, we saw during the COVID time that a lot of times where, a lot of things which would not have happened for 5, 7 or 10 years happened at a very, very short notice. So we were able to use technology. We were able to do the bank audit remotely with minimal visits in the branch. So it is very much possible that if we use technology very well, it will be easy for us to kind of do our work very, very efficiently. So today I'm going to take you through some steps, and I've also ensured that I'm giving you a small template for the bank audit, which is just not limited to bank audit. Using that theme, you can plan it for any audits what you do, including your 44 AB audits or any assignment. We have mostly seen one thing that, as chartered accountants, we do a lot of work correctly, but when it comes to documentation, थोड़े से weak हो जाते हैं. So today my objective will be to see that we do the work, we document it, and tomorrow the retrieval is also very, very easy. So I'll just take you to my screen. Before that, I've shared one link in the chat box. You can all download that file. I'll copy it again and put it. In that, you may download the folder starting with serial number 12. You right click and download the folder. Don't go inside the folder and open the file. If you do that, it will open in Google Sheets, where most of the Excel functions or few of the Excel functions will not work. So kindly download all the files, and then we may get going actually. I will just share my screen. For those who are not able to click the link, can type bit.ly/bankauditdc. Can few people give me a reply that you have downloaded, or are there any issues? Friends, I would like to have this as a two-way session. I know that you are all with me. Done. Okay, I get 2 replies. So fine, we'll proceed. You can open this file control sheet, the small template which I've tried to give, and as we feel along, there are certain techniques or functions in Excel I'll take you through, which may just not be relevant for the bank audit, but for all the other audits as well. So when you open Excel file, it is asking me to enable the editing, which I do. And sometimes you may get a security warning that some active content are disabled. Should I enable? Feel free to do that. There is no risk with this file. So आप उसको enable content डाल सकते हैं. Now, if you see, it has randomly opened me one particular sheet in this whole Excel file. But now I want to go to the first sheet of this Excel file. How do I do that? Can somebody put it in the chat box that if I want to go to the other sheets, one way of doing it is कि manually मैं एक sheet को click करूं. But is there any other way?
Yeah, you can go to the CMD command
Okay.
and merge those Excel files.
No, it is not merging. What I'm asking is, if
Sorry.
there are 10 sheets or 20 sheets,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to go to the first sheet of this or third sheet maybe, how do I go to that sheet directly?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
जैसे अगर इस एक्सेल फाइल में 15 से 20 शीट्स है और मेरे को एक पर्टिकुलर शीट पे जाना है.
Are you saying tabs?
हाँ, tabs, exactly. Sheets.
Okay, just go to the if you just go to the 32 number, 37 number on the extreme left, and if you just press the right key, you will get all the tabs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the left bottom, you can see two arrows.
Yeah.
Right click करेंगे तो
Right click.
सारे sheets के
Yeah.
name आ जाएंगे, which will be easy for you to navigate to any sheet you
Yeah.
want. So in this case, particularly I have chosen one random sheet. Now we'll go to the first sheet, which is the material resources, where I've given some more links for the bank audit guidance note. But anyway, I've put that in the Google link as well so that आप उसको use कर सकते हो. So now, before we get into or dive into the subject, there are certain things I wanted to cover and tell before we start the audit. First and foremost thing, you generally, to get access to resources, the manager or the branch will give you access to the files for you to work on. So between the format of the files, you may get certain times in Excel file, sometimes as a text file. Which one you will be more comfortable with?
Anything is fine, right? Even if it is text file, I will delimit it and convert it into an
अगर
Excel.
आपको Excel file मिलेगा, you'll be happy with it.
No, the size would be much more.
Okay. Any other risk you are seeing the moment I give a Excel file? You get an Excel file from the branch.
Not sure if anything is embedded in that Excel file.
Yeah,
could
the moment you
provide
get an Excel file, there are very many chances that the manager has kind of, I won't say manipulated, but he has tried to do some analysis, and possibility is that that might not be the original data. So it is always better you go for the text file. Sir, can I edit in text file? Yes, उसपे भी editing possible है, but it will be little difficult because the moment you edit in a text file, all your formatting will go haywire. तो वो मुश्किल रहता है. So between a text file and Excel file, it is always better you get access to text file. Now the question which comes immediately is, sir, should I rely on a downloaded file or I should download file myself or before my eyes? The natural answer is to see that it gets downloaded before you, or you download it yourself. The moment you go to the bank audit, आपको एक login password credentials मिल जाएगा, which you have to seek for it so that you are able to get the access. Generally, if the branch is subject to concurrent audit, आपको उनका credentials password change करके दे देंगे, where you get a lot of view access and you can do it. There are some reports which might not come in your access, in your login. So in those cases, please try to download from the manager's file, and those files you try to get it from email. Do not use pen drives, because you will not have a track that what is the data you have taken. In fact, many of the banks today have disabled pen drives, so it might not be possible also. But even if that option is there, ensure that those files you get it emailed to you so that tomorrow आपके पास record रहता है कि कौन सी फाइल आपके पास ब्रांच से आई है. And third very important thing is documentation. As I told you, many a time we miss on documentation कि ये कर लिया वो कर लिया, but record कहाँ है? नहीं सर, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. But now today this template or the control sheet which I have given you is only a small tool which will help you. You can increase or decrease the way you want. This is an open file actually. And very importantly, as the chairman said, that we should have an audit program and proper planning. The moment you have that, you will not miss any important thing. So kindly take care of that part. And very importantly, training for the chartered accountant, training for the whole team which is going for the bank audit. Please spend some considerable time with them. कई बार हमने देखा है कि we tell half things to our article and expect double from them, जो possible नहीं होगा. The result won't come properly. So please spend some time to get your staff trained so that they are also doing the work the way you want it, rather than telling it on the field कि ऐसे करना है वैसे करना है. Spend some time beforehand actually. And today's Excel session is only to strengthen your concepts. ये concepts अगर आप strong हो गए तो कहीं पे भी आगे आप उसको किसी भी audits के लिए या किसी भी assignment के लिए use कर सकते हो. In fact, LFR के सारे points में it is very much possible that you can use technology. For each and every point they have given, you can actually use Excel to work out and have a proper backing of on what basis you have given your replies to those LFAR points. And then after doing the analysis, what you do is you pick the top 5 or 10 samples or the samples which are required, and you don't forget to pick the current year loan samples also. Many a time we have seen that top 5 ले लिया, top 10 ले लिया और current year के loans को छोड़ दिया. You are not supposed to do that. Ensure that the sample picks the current year loans also, because if there is any trouble in the current year, that will also get exposed when you do the audit. And many times we have seen one more thing कि कई बार प्रॉब्लम सिस्टम सेटिंग्स में होती है एंड वी ब्लेम एक्सेल कि एक्सेल में ये ऐसा काम नहीं कर रहा है, वो नहीं कर रहा है, बट इट इज नॉट सो. एंश्योर दैट योर सिस्टम सेटिंग्स आर राइट एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली प्लीज यूज द लैपटॉप विच यू आर यूज्ड टू. जो लैपटॉप आप रेगुलर यूज करते हैं वही यूज कीजिए. नए लैपटॉप बैंक ऑडिट में यूज मत कीजिए. यू विल स्ट्रगल टू सेट गो बिहाइंड द कीज बिकॉज एवरी कीबोर्ड इज डिफरेंट. And very important thing, when you use Excel, there is no one single way to do things. मैं रास्ते से जाके I can get the answer. There is always 2 or 3 techniques where you can get the same result. और कुछ techniques will take 2-3 more steps. My suggestion is आप जो comfortable हो वो कीजिएगा. Not necessary कि मैं जो technique कर रहा हूँ वही आपको करना है. But one request will be use the one which takes the limited time, so that you are able to do things faster and do more things actually. And one more suggestion is nothing to do with bank audit, but this is for all the audits, that ensure that you have all the backup of your data. In fact, in our office, all the data we put it in OneDrive or G Drive, Google Drive, so that access is very easy. And tomorrow some changes made, anybody picks the file, he knows कि भाई updated file कौन सी है. नहीं तो I remember अपने ऑफिस में पहले final 1, final 2, final 3, final मालूम नहीं पड़ता कि कौन सा फाइल एक्चुअली फाइनल है. सो इट इज बेटर दैट यू हैव अ OneDrive or Google Drive so that your data gets updated, and also backing up is not required because it happens automatically. And the last statement, they said computers and technology will make life easier. Yes, they have made life easier, but at the same time difficult, because today we are supposed and expected to do a lot of. Just give me a moment. I'll immediately run through the other files. Okay. So I put a small requirement sheet where you can write the name of the bank. So I'll just give a random bank, Indian bank. Say Jodhpur main branch. Now by filling this, what happens, I've given the links that wherever the header comes, the name and the branch gets copied, which you can do it yourself. And then you can start writing the requirements कि भाई क्या-क्या चीजें आपको बैंक से चाहिए. Prepare a small list. I have not given every list because it may change from bank to bank. Few things may be available, few things they will not give. आप यहाँ पे note करके रख लीजिए. And very importantly, do not forget to send a communication to the previous auditor seeking objections if any. एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट ये है कि सर आरबीआई अपॉइंट्स अस, व्हाई शुड वी गो फॉर एन कम्युनिकेशन टू द प्रीवियस ऑडिटर फॉर एनी ऑडिट असाइनमेंट प्रीवियस टू, आई मीन कम्युनिकेशन टू प्रीवियस ऑडिटर इज मस्ट, जो आपको करना ही करना है. सर मेरे को मोड है कोई कर सकता हूं. द करेक्ट मोड इज टू गो फॉर अ रजिस्टर्ड पोस्ट विद एक्नॉलेजमेंट ड्यू, बट लास्ट ईयर इंस्टीट्यूट केम विद एन अनाउंसमेंट टेलिंग दैट you can even do it through email, but only hiccup is if you do it through email, आपको reply compulsory लाना ही लाना है. मतलब ensure that the previous auditor gives a reply to you that there is no objection in you doing the assignment. If he is not replying, please ensure that you send the previous auditor's communication through the registered post with AD, and you can put all the other requirements whatever you have. Say like I want the preceding year audit report. and LFAR. And you can check status pending. कुछ remarks आपको note करना है तो आप note कर सकते हो. Likewise, all the certificates what you issue, like here it has come the Indian Bank Jodhpur main branch, whatever you have put, you can always give a link which will help you to get things in all the files. Now I've given small certificates का list. ये certificates मेरे को चाहिए, and you can always put a applicable or not applicable and not received whatever, and give your remarks as well. And you can keep adding whatever you need for the certificates. Very important thing, for every certificate you issue, you got to have audit documentation. अगर आपके पास audit documentation नहीं है या supportive नहीं है, it is assumed that you have not seen things properly, especially when it comes to regulatory checking by other statute bodies or when you are doing a peer review. So ensure that every certificate you issue is having a proper backing of data and the supportives on which you relied and gave your certificate. And institute mandates that we need to maintain the KYC for all the clients. Likewise, you have to do it for this bank also. In fact, it is for all the client. I've just tried to capture the basic information of the bank. Many a time we miss, और जब हमको retrieve करना होता है तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. So you can stop putting sole ID, you can say branch ID, because these terminologies keep changing from bank to bank. If they've got some other code, you can note down address of the branch, contact of the branch, email, manager's name, contact number, and all other details. Who are the partners who are handling that audit, and assisted by who are the team members, and who is the one who has reviewed actually. And here I've used conditional formatting where you type something, this will become green, which means that you have filled this information, whatever LO is, either is not applicable or you have left it blank. Now a small thing I'll just try to see if I can give a print of this. Now if I give a print of this, it is going to get me this print with shades. The green shade and yellow shade will come as light gray shades and dark gray shades. The moment I take a printout in a laser printer. How to avoid that? Can somebody put in the chats how to overcome that? अगर ये मेरे को प्रिंट लेना है और ये शेड्स मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, how do I take care of that? Or should I ask, is it possible?
Sorry, shades in the sense the lines and all.
Shades मेरे को नहीं चाहिए printing. One way is I can remove the shades out. I don't want to remove my shades in the Excel sheet. Excel sheet पे मेरे को ये yellow और green ऐसा कैसा चाहिए. But जब print आता है तो मेरे को ये yellow और green shades नहीं चाहिए. नहीं तो क्या होता है, वो text दिखाई नहीं देता है.
मंडे को बात करेंगे. क्या लोड हुई है, क्या है, पूछा तो सही.
Okay, friends, I'll tell you the technique to do that. In the print preview dialog box, there is one option known as page setup. You click that. In that, there is 4 tabs available: page, margins, header, footer, sheet. Come to the last tab, sheet, and then just click black and white and say OK. अब क्या हो गया है, ये जो भी शेड्स थे वो हट गए, प्रिंट में नहीं आएंगे. बट इफ आई गो बैक, मेरे शीट्स यहाँ पे इंटैक्ट है. मेनी टाइम वी में रिक्वायर किया, आपने कुछ मार्किंग्स करके रखा है, बट जब प्रिंट लेते हैं तो खराब आता है. हाँ, जहां पे आपको शेड्स के साथ चाहिए, डोंट डू दैट. बट वेयर यू वांट इट क्लियर इंफॉर्मेशन, आप उसको बिना शेड्स के ले सकते हो. Somebody has raised a hand. Friends, if you have anything, put in the chat box. I'll take it up as and when I see the chat box. Okay, I'll proceed. A small utility we have created for the attendance. Say partner. I will say Ramesh. I will say Suresh, who are 2 partners. and then we have say staff. We say audit staff, or if it's article, you can say article assistant. Now your job is just to fill the days when the people are doing the audit, and I've given one sheet attendance certificate which will automatically come. आप कंट्रोल सेलेक्ट करके किसी भी कॉलम के बीच में डबल क्लिक कर लीजिए. योर टोटल मैंडेट्स फॉर द ऑडिट विल कम. इनफैक्ट कुछ ब्रांचेस इंसिस्ट करती है कि बिफोर यू लीव द ऑडिट यू गेट इट साइन फ्रॉम द ब्रांच मैनेजर. सम बैंक्स डू नॉट इंसिस्ट, बट वॉट एवर बिट आई लाइक दिस आइडिया कि अपने पास रिकॉर्ड होना चाहिए कि भाई कितना मैंडेट्स हमने इस ब्रांच में यूज किया है. एंड द मोमेंट यू चेंज थिंग्स, से this partner did not come in these 2 days and he came only on 3rd and 8th. Automatically it gets changed here to 3rd and 8th. And if you ask me kaise kiya hai, I've given a lengthy formula before few years. I don't know, but आप explore कर सकते हो कि क्या क्या हमने use किया है. So I'll proceed with the next sheet. Let me check if there are any questions. No, there aren't any. Okay. Friends, can you give me your feedback? Is the speed fine? Should I slow down?
Yes, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, great. I should get more okay or yes, so that I know you are all with me. Okay, 2 has become 3 only anyway. Fine, I'll get going. So now you can capture all the information of the other audits which the branch has undergone. The branches may be subject to concurrent audit, say it is applicable or not applicable. Fill the basic information that who is doing the audit, whether it is done by a CA firm or it is done by internal staff, or it is not covered. If it is covered, what is the name of the firm and the internal staff? What is the status of compliance? If there are revenue leakages or recover ho chuke hain ki baki hai, how is the concurrent audits issues getting closed? And I've tried to give 3 months major issues or comments you can capture. December 2021, January 22 or February 22, because March 22 report might not be ready when you start the audit. This will give you an indication that you have actually gone through the concurrent audit reports, and very importantly, this will help you to plan your audit better. कि कौन से areas में ये branch weak है और कौन से areas पे आपको ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है. The concurrent auditor will help, his comments will help us to perform our audit better actually. And then if the branch is subject to RBI audit, you can capture the information here. The branch is subject to inspection audit, you can note down the information here. The branch is subject to, in fact, every branch will would have been subject to an audit in the preceding year. In that case, you see that the previous auditor's comments are also noted. In fact, कुछ branches में अगर MOC दिया गया है, तो it is our duty to check whether all entries relating to MOC has been passed during the current year or not. In fact, SBI is the only bank where there is no MOC because वो सारी entries rework करके pass कर देते उसी साल में. But all other banks, the corrections what you give through MOC is actually passed in the next year. So आपको वो ध्यान देना है कि सारी entries pass हो चुके हैं कि नहीं. And you can give your note down your comments in LFAR, tax audit, main audit report, or other certifications. Also, whether the branch is subject to IS audit, revenue audit, or stock audit, and all the adverse comments can be noted, ताकि आपको अपने audit के planning में भी help करेगा. और कुछ चीजें आपको अपने LFAR में note करनी है तो भी it will be easy for you to do things. Then I've given a small sheet to capture your cash verification, that verification was done by which person, who was the one who reviewed it, observations क्या है उसमें, date of verification क्या है, वो start of the day में हुआ या end of the day में हुआ, and you just have to type in the currency information. You will get the you will get the total value of cash, where I have tried to add coins, mutilated notes, fake notes if any. अगर branch के साथ कोई ATM जुड़ा हुआ है तो उनका cash भी is our responsibility, which also can be captured. And who are the dual custodians of the cash or the vault, वो आप note कर सकते हैं, so that when you prepare LFAR आपको वापस refer नहीं करना पड़ता है कि कौन है. And some banks do have the concept of going for late cash, which gets recorded on the next day. तो वो भी हमने कॉलम बना दिया है. आपको नहीं चाहिए तो आप हाइड कर सकते हो, डिलीट कर सकते हो. And one more point which we have seen, which gets captured in the LFAR, कि whether periodic checks are done, that is surprise verification. Generally, it is to be done by the senior manager or a person from the other than the branch people. So you can say when that was done and who was the one who did that verification also, which is available in the cash register. Same thing we have tried to capture for the physical ATM verification of cash, which might not be possible for us to do it on 31st March. It is 31st March जा चुका है और possible नहीं है कि सारे ATMs हम verify करें. तो current date में कोई एक particular spot पे day end या day start में करके we can work backwards and tell that because today's cash is fine, the cash on 31st March also stands good actually. Same thing I have tried to give it for the gold and jewel pack verification. Most of the time it does not tally. आपके jewel packs जो physical रहते हैं और जो GL codes में जो loans आते हैं tally नहीं होते हैं क्योंकि कई बार reconciliation होता है कि भाई loan account close हो चुका है but they have not taken the packs or that might be other reasons. So you ensure that all things are properly recorded. Especially अगर excess packets है तो safe custody register या bank can maintain any other register whether that is properly maintained or not. और आपके और observations कुछ है तो इसमें add कर सकते हैं. But you can do one more step further. You can verify few sample packets to check whether the weight is correct or not. There will be these appraisers who will help us to do that. आप उनके थ्रू कर सकते हैं और अगर loans ज़्यादा है तो you can try to call for the appraiser of the nearby branch who will counter check to see whether the weight is right or not, or you want to even check the quality of the gold, you can do that. And then few sample packets you can verify for the quantity. कि भाई 3 ornaments रखे और 3 है कि नहीं है, and you can counter check with the account opening form के साथ verification भी check कर सकते हैं कि भाई properly जो note किया है जो अंदर quantity है वो सही है कि नहीं है. And if there is any other item you find in the vault, you can give an observation which you want to bring it to the notice of the management or the central statutory auditor. So likewise, a small template on the physical stationery. It is your pay orders, your FD receipts, your checkbooks, your ATM cards, whether the uploading is happening in register as well as system or only one, and who is holding the returned ATM cards and who is holding the returned ATM pins. Even today, if the ATM card and pins doesn't reach the customer, few banks have a policy to go to the respective branches. So उस case में एक ध्यान देना है कि the ATM cards and ATM pins are not held by the same person. It has to be held by 2 different persons so that there is no internal control issues. And then who are the custodians of those stationery, and if there are any missing stationery, you can note down those items and whether they have been properly reported to head office. Missing tokens, if any, you can note down. And very importantly, the banks will have postal stamps, revenue stamps, and stamp papers in custody, which forms part of your balance sheet. So you ensure that you also check it. Here also there are chances there may be reconciliation. अगर हम audit 5 तारीख को start करते हैं और 2 या 3 तारीख को उन्होंने कुछ issue कर दिया है, तो ensure that those are available in either the CBS or in the register to see that whatever is held in hand is properly recorded in the register or the system also. And ये अपने end से किसने audit किया है उनका नाम आप note कर सकते हो. Feel free to change any rows or columns you feel that will help you to do a value addition. Same thing for lockers. Who is the one who is holding the master key, and what is the name and the designation, and details of vacant lockers. You can note down how many lockers are vacant, whether they were vacant for full year or part of the year, and 1 or 2 vacant lockers you can verify also to see whether they're actually vacant or not. Likewise, आप bank guarantees का भी note कर सकते हो, especially the ones which have got expired, क्योंकि उनको या तो close कर देना चाहिए था, क्योंकि उसके बाद कुछ invoke हो जाता है, so there can be trouble. So ensure that those information you capture and get the explanation why that they have let it expire and not get closed before that. So those things you can note down on this sheet. और कुछ एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन आपको ऐड करनी है तो यू कैन फील फ्री टू डू दैट. So a small example we will use how we can use Excel and its functions efficiently. Like I have tried to give a small ready-made answer here. Retention करके एक sheet है, ये मैंने ready-made answer दे दिया है, ये आप बाद में देख सकते हैं. I have tried to assume that there are 2 retention limits for this branch. There are chances हो सकता है कि भाई कोई particular date के बाद उनका retention limit change हो गया है, तो वो कैसे करना है आप formulas देख के use कर सकते हो. Now what we will do is we'll try to use a live example to see how it works where we want to do it ourselves. तो एक नियर बाई एक शीट है रिटेंशन प्रैक्टिस, उसमें आप क्या करेंगे, एक डेटा है 03 कैश बैलेंस 2018-19, वो कॉपी कीजिएगा. I'll open the notepad first, Control C to copy the data, go to the Excel sheet, in the row in the cell A1 I'll give Control V. Sorry, mine is not got copied. I don't know, suddenly my keyboard Control C is not working. I don't know why. Control V. Now what I will do,
So you
my
can bring-
first,
Sorry, on screen keyboard and then just unlock it.
1 second, Control C. Yes, I got it now. Thank you. Okay, now what I will do, I will remove the first unnecessary rows. जो मेरे को नहीं चाहिए remove कर देता हूँ, क्योंकि मेरी first line should be the header which I want. आप चाहे तो रख सकते हैं, choice is yours, but to avoid confusion, I will delete all. Now I need to select the entire data where मेरे को date और cash balance properly आ गया है, और जो columns मेरे को नहीं चाहिए मैं right away delete कर देता हूँ. But before deleting, please review it once कि भाई जो मैं delete कर रहा हूँ वो सारी information कहीं wanted information तो नहीं है उसमें. So I see that C D E F G मेरे को जरूरत नहीं है, मैं select करके right click करके delete कर देता हूँ. Now coming to this, मैं heading change करता हूँ as cash balance. Now I need to select the entire range, which I can do it manually. Is there any way where I can easily select the entire data? Friends can put in chat box कि entire data कैसे select करना है manual selection के अलावा.
Use the arrow keys, right, with the help of keyboard.
Perfect. Perfect. If somebody has used, you can share कौन से keys है, but perfect Ankit ji, you have to use. No, not Control A will only help you to select the range, to select the entire sheet.
No, I'm just saying use the arrow.
Somebody got it. Control N, in fact, Control N
Like
नहीं
for
है.
example,
हाँ. Actually, you have to use Control Shift and ये A और B select करके Control Shift and अगर मैं select करता हूँ, it will select my entire data. So it is actually Control. I will type it in the chat box. Control plus Shift plus End. So now I have selected the entire range. I have to just apply filter. How I can apply the filter?
you can remove the blanks.
No, remove blanks बाद में, पहले filter apply करना है मुझे.
Alt A T, the shortcut.
Alt
A T.
Alt A T. Okay. In fact, मैं use करता हूँ Alt D F F. वो पुराना version का use
छोटा
है.
वाला में 3 use होते हैं.
Or you can also, what you can do is you can go to the data tab. इस पे एक filter option है, उस पे भी आप click करके on कर सकते हैं. The choice is yours. As we see now itself, we are
The
having
problem
3
is using
Yankee ji.
yeah, so if you've already applied a filter and if you're going to use this, the filter option, it will go away. Like for example, if you just
toggle switch
say select
on off करता है actually. Perfect.
हाँ ये ऑन ऑफ करता है. सो उसके लिए एक छोटा शॉर्टकट है Alt A C. तो अगर आपने कोई भी फिल्टर लगाया होगा तो वो फिल्टर चला जाएगा बट ओवरऑल फिल्टर रहेगा.
ओके
सो इट इज Alt A T and Alt A C.
ओके ओके ओके. So fine, in our case हमको we need to see the filter. So I've applied the filter and now what I will do, I will click. In fact ये C D E F मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, पहले remove कर देता हूँ मैं. C to J या I मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, delete कर देता हूँ. And now I will just see the data जो भी है. एक मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, जो मेरे को unwanted data चाहिए वो select करके I can delete it manually one way. I will do alternatively one more thing. मैं क्या करता हूं, इसमें सीधा सॉर्ट कर देता हूं ओल्डेस्ट टू न्यूएस्ट. तो क्या होगा, मेरा ये वाला डेट डेटा पूरा आ जाएगा. उसके बाद मैं रिव्यू करके डिलीट कर दूंगा जो जो मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. सो नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल सेलेक्ट फ्रॉम 367th रो, पूरा रो सेलेक्ट करके आई विल रिव्यू इट मैनुअली टू सी दैट कहीं कोई इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा नहीं जा रहा है. सो यहाँ पर राइट क्लिक करके डिलीट मार देता हूं. सो नाउ होल information which I need is available at one go. मेरा डेट और कैश बैलेंस अवेलेबल है, सारी अननेसेसरी चीजें रिमूव हो चुकी है. Now one small observation, it has got a minus symbol before the cash balance which I don't want. How do I remove this minus symbol? There are multiple ways to do that. You can put in chat.
Absolute figure.
Yeah, एक रास्ता है ABS फंक्शन है. ABS सेलेक्ट करके मैं अगर मेरे डेटा को सेलेक्ट करता हूं तो मेरा माइनस रिमूव हो जाएगा. Since I'm not getting commas, I will select, go to home, click comma, I will get my commas. One way of doing it is this. और कोई रास्ता? So we use one shortcut as ABS and the cell, or there is one function in latest Excel. If you give formula text open bracket, let me give the formula. One more way to do it is equal to जो data into -1 कर दीजिए, you will still get the same result. So equal to B2 into -1, फिर मैंने ड्रैग कर दिया. और कोई ऑप्शन? जैसे मैंने शुरू में कहा कि Excel doesn't have only one way of doing things. You can do it lot of ways and every answer is right. You can actually do Control F and replace also. B का पूरा सीरीज को सेलेक्ट करके Control F, yes, Garima got it right. You can also use replace. Control F, I will say find minus replace. मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं सेलेक्ट करना है, and I just have to give replace all, and I've got all the information. Now ये देखिए, the hazards of using into -1, this data gets minus, but ABS में वो हमेशा positive रहेगा. Now we don't want this. I will remove these two things, and I will insert 2 rows and say retention limit, let's make it 20 lakhs. Now I need to find कि 20 लाख से ऊपर जितना गया है वहां पे exceed हुआ है लिमिट को, और जहां नहीं हुआ वो लिमिट के अंदर है. So can somebody help me with the if function? कि how should I put equal to if open bracket? What is the logical test I should give? Friends, you can put in chat box.
B2 is greater than C1.
Perfect. B2 is greater than C1, comma, within double quotes है तो ये लिमिट exceed हुआ है. नहीं, B4 is greater than, yes, exceeds limit. सेकंड ऑप्शन देना जरूरी नहीं है. लेट अस सी क्या होता है अगर सेकंड ऑप्शन नहीं देते हैं तो. आई विल क्लोज द इफ फंक्शन. इनफैक्ट अपने सारे ऑडिट्स के लिए मोस्ट यूज फंक्शन इज इफ फंक्शन. अपना 60 to 70% of the audit work will get over with this if function. Now my first cell was good, but if you carefully observe, I had a problem in second cell or third cell में कुछ issue है. Can you tell me what is the mistake?
Freeze करना पड़ेगा C1 को.
dollar
मेरे C1 को
Dollar.
freeze करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो my output will not be right. So how to
Dollar.
freeze that?
dollar symbol.
I have to give $C $1 to freeze completely. इसमें
F4.
$C1 और $C1 का भी दूसरा मतलब है, which is help you to freeze only the rows or columns how you want. But अपने case में we want $C $1. Is there any other way where I can get this $C $1?
F4.
F4, perfect. अगर मैं F4 यूज करता हूं तो मेरे को सारे टॉगल स्विच आ जाएगा. $C $1, I click again, I get C $1, I click again, I get $C1, I click, I get C1. चारों ऑप्शंस आ जाएंगे. आप वेट कर सकते हो कौन सा ऑप्शन आपको यूज करना है. So now I will freeze $C $1 and double click. I got the answer correctly. But ये false की जगह मैं क्या करता हूं अभी, because it is not coming correctly, I will say comma 0. So अगर ये रिटेंशन से ऊपर है तो एग्जिट लिमिट आ जाएगा और उससे कम है तो 0 आ जाएगा. अब यहां पे आपने अगर केयरफुली ऑब्जर्व किया है, exit limit is left aligned or 0 is right aligned. What does that indicate?
Numeric value, text value.
Everything they put in Excel has got a small meaning. That data exit limit is on left alignment and 0 is right aligned. Perfect. Ashish has got it right. If one is numeric value, one is text value. The moment you have a numeric value, it will be automatically right aligned or text है तो left aligned. कई बार अगर नंबर आपका ऑटोमेटिक लेफ्ट aligned होता है तो ध्यान दीजिएगा कि वो टेक्स्ट में और उसमें आप कैलकुलेट नहीं कर पाओगे. That is the whole idea I wanted to drive. And one more message, जब भी आप ऐसे फंक्शंस यूज करते हैं, मैंने जानबूझ के क्या किया, फर्स्ट पैरामीटर टेक्स्ट डाला, सेकंड नंबर डाला, जहां तक हो सके वो अवॉइड करना है, because when you tomorrow do pivot, it will create trouble for you. So I will try to complete the second parameter also using text telling that it is within limit. अभी मैं how to copy this to the entire data range?
Control D.
ये मेरे को सारी सेल्स में कॉपी करना है. एक में कंट्रोल सी करके पूरा रेंज सेलेक्ट करके कंट्रोल वी दे सकता हूं. मैनुअली इज वन वे टू डू थिंग. कंट्रोल वी और सेलेक्ट द एंटायर रेंज. सॉरी, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एंड give control D, which will copy the top row. और कोई रास्ता?
You can just double click on the bottom right edge of that cell. It will just automatically copy paste.
Yeah, Ankit ji, sorry, I couldn't hear you. मेरा volume.
So you just need to double click on the bottom right of that particular cell.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what do you do is every cell in the bottom end there is a small dot. This white color plus symbol will become black color plus and you just have to double click. Only catch here is अगर आपका डेटा यहाँ पे ब्रेक हुआ है तो वो वर्क नहीं करेगा. So you have to be very careful कि आपका डेटा कंटिन्यूस होना चाहिए, स्ट्रक्चर होना चाहिए, तभी ये वर्क करेगा. So now I've got within limit or exit limits आ गया है. I'll give a title to this telling that it is analysis. Now we'll try to use कि भाई कितने दिन लिमिट्स के अंदर था और कितने दिन लिमिट्स के बाहर था. So I will say within limit कितना था और exit कितने दिन थे. So can somebody suggest which function will help me to get the answer? Vlookup formula नहीं सर, इसमें Vlookup की जरूरत नहीं है. मिनिमम मैक्सिमम जब कैलकुलेट करूंगा तब मेरे को जरूरत पड़ेगा वो.
What about count?
Yes, count में और थोड़ा वेरिएशन चाहिए. There is one function known as count if. Yes, right. You have to use function count if open bracket. I have to select the range. Range है मेरा C4 to. I should go to that. What is the shortcut to select the entire data in this particular column? Shift Control down arrow, which will help me to select the entire range, comma. I can tell now criteria. Criteria है मेरा first. Double quotes within limit. 83 days आ गए. इसको मैं कॉपी करता हूं. Sorry, before that, I have purposely given within quotes within limit. जरूरी नहीं कि मैं वो करूं. I can delete that and also select the data in the which will also do the same job. या मैं आपको अलग अलग ही करके दिखा देता हूं. Equal to count if open bracket, select the analysis data, comma, select the range. In both ways, I've got the same result. Now let me copy it to the other cell and see exit limit का क्या होता है. यहाँ पे it will not work because मेरे को manually टाइप करना पड़ेगा. So ये मैं skip कर देता हूँ. But यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Because I didn't give a static value, lock नहीं किया, इसलिए data change हो गया. So वो पहले कर देता हूँ by giving F4. Now if I do a copy, still I'm getting 0. Can somebody quickly tell me where is the error I have committed? I have purposely errored in doing something. You have to have very, very sharp eyes.
Sorry, can you go to the cell?
My formula is perfect because it is count if. Data मेरा perfect है और मेरे को E6 select करना है. आप carefully observe करोगे तो यहाँ पे मैंने दिया of exit. Perfect. Perfect. So I will change that to exit limit. You have to be very careful. कई बार ये चीज मिस कर देते हैं and error keeps coming. Now I've got it right. You can alternatively do one more thing instead of selecting the entire range. क्योंकि कई बार हमने देखा है कि कुछ चीजें अपने को बहुत frequently जरूरत पड़ती है and we every time select the range which will take a lot of time. To avoid that आप क्या कर सकते हो? जैसे कैश बैलेंस मेरे को हमेशा जरूरत पड़ सकता है आगे, तो मैं पूरा डेटा सेलेक्ट कर लिया, शिफ्ट कंट्रोल डाउन एरो, और फिर यहाँ पे रिबन के नीचे एक छोटा सा एक रेक्टेंगल बॉक्स रहेगा वेयर आई विल से कैश 1. इनफैक्ट मैं कैश दे सकता हूं, पर इस शीट में एक्चुअली पहले यूज किया है, तो आई एम गिविंग कैश 1 एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू गिव एंटर. सेम वे C4 से शिफ्ट कंट्रोल डाउन एरो, आई सेलेक्ट अप टू C368 और यहाँ पे रिबन के नीचे आई विल से एनालिसिस 1. Close. Now what we will do is we will try to find the minimum cash balance and the maximum cash balance, and maybe we will give the average also. So before that इसमें यूज करते हैं इसका within limits में equal to count if open bracket. अभी मेरे को रेंज सेलेक्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं, आई कैन स्ट्रेट अवे टाइप कैश 1 जो डेटा आ जाएगा, पहले नहीं था, एंड देन कमा सेलेक्ट दी विद इन लिमिट वाला पैरामीटर, क्लोज. What did go wrong? Okay, wrong because it is not cash 1, it should be analysis 1. analysis 1. Sorry. So likewise, I copy the next. I got the same result. So आपने देखा कि एक ही आंसर को अराइव करने के लिए there are multiple ways where you can actually do things. Now we will try to do the same thing for the minimum and maximum. Equal to, there is one function known as min, which will give you the minimum value. I don't have to select the range. I will use the name box, which is cache 1. Close bracket. I've got the minimum value equal to max, close bracket, cache 1. I've got the maximum value. I will say average, open bracket, cache 1, close bracket. My spelling is wrong. So मेरे को correct करनी है. I've got the average balance also. I'll go to home tab. And say comma. Now I need to find कि minimum rupees जो था वो किस दिन हुआ और maximum किस दिन था. I want the date. So somebody was referring to Vlookup. Here the Vlookup formula will be of much help. So people who are very used to this Vlookup can help me with the building the formula. Equal to Vlookup, open bracket, what should I do next?
Select the minimum and then
Lookup value पहले मेरे को F9 select कर लिया, perfect, comma.
Then the whole column B you can select.
Okay, column B select कर लिया.
Yeah.
Now there is a problem. Ankit ji knows what is the problem is. मुझे चाहिए
Right and left.
date मेरे कैश बैलेंस के बाद वाले कॉलम में नहीं है. तो एक रास्ता क्या हो सकता है? I will insert, sorry, I'll give a insert column. ये पूरा का पूरा डेटा को मैं सेलेक्ट कर लेता हूँ. Now I will try to use the Vlookup again to see how it will work. Equal to Vlookup, open bracket, lookup value. For the sake of example, I'll try to select the table from A to D. Shift control down arrow ताकि पूरा डेटा सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा और F4 दे देता हूं ताकि मेरा डेटा स्टैटिक हो जाएगा या लॉक हो जाएगा, कमा. Now I selected 4 columns और मेरे को डालना अभी कौन से कॉलम में मेरे को आउटपुट चाहिए, which is now in the third column. So I will say 3, 0, 0 because I want the exact, sorry, approximate, exact match. Close bracket. It has resulted in an error. Can somebody point out क्या mistake मैंने commit किया है? I have purposely committed a mistake.
So always the lookup value should be the most left. Means the B column should be the starting
So
range.
my lookup value and the first column of that range should be the starting value. Otherwise, I won't get the result. So what I will do is instead of A3,
B.
I will make it B3.
B. Yeah.
And now the column should be 3 or 2. 2 because first column is cash balance, second is date. So I'll say 2 and give enter. Now I've got the date perfectly. Now how to get into this date format? Again, there are multiple ways of doing it.
On the top, just go to the general.
Perfect.
Select
On the home tab.
date column. Yeah.
On the home tab,
Right
I
click.
just have to select the general. इसमें मेरे को 2 तरह के dates आ जाएंगे, select कर सकता हूँ. Perfect. Perfect. Any other way out?
Or just right click, go to the format cell and then change it.
Right click, format cells. I can do. The shortcut to use right click format cells is Control+1. आप जो एक activity को regular use करते हैं, please learn shortcuts so that you will save a lot of time. In that, I will go to date and select the format I want. I generally believe in this format, which is DD, MMM, and then YY. Can somebody tell what are the benefits of this format over this?
We don't get confused in MMDD or DDMM.
Pardon?
We don't get confused between DDMM or MMDD.
Exactly. अगर मेरा डेट 11/4 है, I should be very sure कि 11th April है कहीं या 4th November तो नहीं है. तो it is always better that आप वो MM वाला पूरा एक्सपेंड करके रखो ताकि कहीं ना कहीं डेटा अगर गलत भी हो जाता है तो आपको मालूम पड़ जाएगा. You'll get to know कि there are some problem in this date actually. So there are multiple ways where you can get it, which you can help to get the result. Now इसमें एक ही चैलेंज है कि मिनिमम वैल्यू जो आया है, अगर ये 2-3 बार आया हुआ है तो we will not get the answer. It will stop with the first finding. Same thing is for maximum. So we are assuming that there is no repetition of data. Now एक क्वेश्चन मेरे को एक सेशन में पूछा गया था, सर हॉलीडेज वाला कैश बैलेंस भी गिनना है क्या? Actually yes, because the objective of this retention limit is कि कितने दिन बैंक was at the risk by holding more cash. If on Friday I have held more cash, my Saturday Sunday is also at the risk. So either the bank should increase my retention limit and change the insurance policy at the head office level. The objective is only that. So इसमें मैंने जो previous sheet पे आप जाएंगे तो I try to make one more analysis, which is the monthly summary कि भाई monthly कितना exit हुआ और कितना limits में है. ये actually जरूरत नहीं है अपने बैंक ऑडिट के लिए. ये मैंने इसलिए रखा है कि कहीं अगर आपको और किसी डेटा में अगर आपको और डेटा फाइन ट्यून करना है या आपको डीप जाना है तो आपको कौन से फंक्शन यूज करके कैसे यूज करना है. सो द चॉइस इज yours for you to explore this retention sheet and get the results. Now having said, I would like to touch upon 2 more functions here. आपने देखा होगा कि VLOOKUP में थोड़ा सा हम स्ट्रगल किए थे where you were wanting to change the date in some other column. There is one function now which is very popular is XLOOKUP. It's very simple function. It is available only in the latest version of MS 365 or I think MS 2019 onwards. So equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket. Excel will give me a hint नीचे कि भाई syntax क्या है. My lookup value is 228,968. यहाँ तक और VLOOKUP में same है. Now see the fun part. Comma is asking lookup array. आपको कौन से array में ढूंढना है? So I just have to select भाई ये आप कैश बैलेंस में ढूंढ लो. मेरा B कॉलम पूरा सेलेक्ट. कमा. नाउ रिटर्न कौन सा चाहिए आपका? रिटर्न जो मेरे लेफ्ट में था मैंने वही सेलेक्ट कर दिया. I got the same result. इसको मैं कॉपी भी करूंगा तो मेरा वो लॉक वाले का कोई चक्कर नहीं है because I selected it that way. और मैं इसको डेट फॉर्मेट में चेंज कर सकता हूँ by selecting here and select the date, और इसमें जाके फॉर्मेट पेंटर सेलेक्ट करके भी मैं डेट को चेंज कर सकता हूँ. नाउ दिस फंक्शन इज बेटर और दिस फंक्शन इज बेटर, आपको चूज करना है. आई विल जस्ट पुट द फंक्शन बिफोर यू. So from the complicated VLOOKUP function, we have got very simple XLOOK function, जहाँ पे आपको पहले lookup value निकालना है, कौन से डेटा में कॉलम में ढूंढना है बताना है, and just give the output. It will go for the exact match actually. And I will tell you one more. अभी हमने क्या किया था यहाँ पे within limit select करके we copied it to the other cells. Actually there is something known as dynamic array which is available in MS 365. जो आप एक सेल में अप्लाई करोगे तो बाकी सेल्स में भी ऑटोमेटिक कॉपी हो जाएगा. सो आई विल से इक्वल टू इफ ओपन ब्रैकेट, आई विल से एनालिसिस वाला नहीं ये रहा, B4 से पूरा रेंज इज B368 ग्रेटर देन. इनफैक्ट ऑटोमेटिकली कैश ऑन आ गया बिकॉज आई हैव प्री डिफाइंड द रेंज एक्चुअली. is greater than 20 lakhs, which is D1, comma, value of true, I will say within limit, comma, I will say nahi to exit limit. Now I'm just giving enter and you see what happens. My entire sheet is ready with it. मेरे को copy भी नहीं करने की जरूरत पड़ी. So this is how Excel is advancing in its new versions. और मेरा request suggestion रहेगा, please always have the latest versions because you are able to do a lot of things with ease and you will be able to spend time on other things. Even every fraction, जो छोटा-छोटा जो time save होता है, it will help you to do the audit in a better way actually. So for people who want to just know the formula, I will put it on the top. So this is the function we have used, where we have selected the entire range actually. In fact, अगर मैं range select करता हूं तो I will say equal to B4 to B368, comma within L. Exceeds L. This is the function you can use actually. अभी पहले हमने यहाँ पे क्या किया था, we only used one cell B4 और बाद में फिर यहाँ पे B5 हो गया, B6 हो गया. But see the power here in the new version of Excel MS 365 आपको पूरा B4 to 368 पूरा select कर सकते हो and then you just have to apply your if. It will work for all these cells and you can see a small blue tint which will tell you कि भाई ये यहाँ पे formula है but यहाँ पे दिया हुआ नहीं है. The formula is only in the first cell actually, not in the other cells. Formula is there but आपको editing allow नहीं करेगा वहाँ पे. The moment you edit in the first line, the automatically other rows also it gets copied. Friends, any doubt in this? Because again this, as I told you, ये खाली concept मैं बताना चाहता हूँ. ये मैंने example लिया retention limit का. ये बहुत सारी आप advances या बहुत सारी चीजों में आप इसको इन functions को use कर सकते हो. I'll just see that. So instead of inserting new column for date, can we use index and match? Yes, that is possible. If you are good in using index and match, yes, it is possible. Okay, somebody has already put instead of Vlookup, can we use XLOOKUP? Agar hai to nothing like that. When you are having option between train and flight, you should always choose the flight option. Fine, I'll proceed with the next sheet on the agenda. A small sheet to capture the fixed asset verification. In fact, one of the banks, few banks insist on some particular value. I recall one of the banks said that they want to verify the assets beyond rupees 50,000 only. It may change from bank to bank. So आप उसका audit documentation कर सकते हो. क्योंकि 100% fixed asset verification is not possible by us. So where there is no yardstick given, आप top 10 or 20 items which will cover the major part of fixed asset आप देख सकते हो. So likewise, when you do the advances verification, you have come across some charges which has got missed. Revenue leakage में आप डाल सकते हो and see that that gets recovered before you close the audit. अगर नहीं होता है तो आपको note करना पड़ेगा कि recovery pending है. Same thing, you have to do the variance analysis for the deposits, where you capture the information of the year end and then you capture the information on 7th April या कोई particular date and then see कि कितना variance हुआ है. I have given the formula here. यहाँ हमने देखा कि particular एक category में there was a 22% variance. So we wrote to the branch through email and got the reply कि भाई यहाँ पे आपका divergent trends क्यों है, which they gave a reply which we also noted in LFAR. Or overdue deposits we have not gone much because there was a change in policy of the bank where they changed it. So वो हमने ignore कर दिया था. And other forex deposits where there was a 100% variance because 7 days में कुछ नया deposit नहीं आया था, we have ignored that also. So this will tomorrow act as a working paper for you कि भाई आपका जो reply आपने LFR में दिया है वो किस basis पे था actually. And here जैसे मैंने देखा हर बार हमने हमारा report में generally clean रहता है कि भाई major कोई भी divergent trends नहीं है. But this particular case there was a divergent trend and we had put it in our LFR also. The the fight always between the banks and the ICA and RBI is they tell कि यार हमने जो report दिया वही तो आप sign करते हो, तो आप क्या करते हो आपके report में? So it is our duty to see that our LFR contains the information which will help the central statutory auditor as well as the management to take the key decisions which they need to take. Because उनको possible नहीं है कि वो सारे branches में जाके information ले, इसलिए अपने को appoint करते हैं. So it is our prime responsibility to see that those things are getting captured and we do a small value addition. You can always give a general comment कि भाई major कुछ नहीं था, ये 22% था तो भी ignorable था. Try to give some statistics which will help the management know a lot of things about the branch. So likewise, आपके previous year income और इस साल के comparison में कुछ अगर trend divergent trends है तो वो भी आपको capture करना है. We have tried to see the income part of the current year compare with the income part of the previous year. ये हमने यहाँ पे select किया कि भाई कितना percentage variance था. Same thing for income we have did and try to do it. Now you will be interested, sir, ये arrows आपने कैसे लाए? Nothing. You just go to conditional formatting. There is one option known as icon sets. उसमें आप कोई भी select करके likewise all the samples what you verify you can note down कि भाई आपने कौन से watch accounts verify किए, कौन से inoperative accounts verify किए, because these are the ones where you have to report in LFAR. In fact, we do one more thing. We pick a random SB account and FD account and see whether the interest calculation is right or not. So do we really need to do it in CBS environment? Because you don't have to do it. We also realize that systems will not go wrong. But LFAR में एक point दिया गया कि interest calculation सही हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. आपने जो yes या no बोला है किस basis में बोला है. So it is always better. आप एक छोटा अकाउंट जैसे हमने लिया था, एक अकाउंट जिसमें एक ही ट्रांजैक्शन था इंटरेस्ट का, 1000 रुपये बैलेंस था, 17 फरवरी में डिपॉजिट किया, that had only interest 3 rupees. We just manually check भाई वो डेज के हिसाब से इंटरेस्ट आया कि नहीं आया. Same thing you can do for FD also. One of the FD accounts. In fact, our person took a longer account जिस पर टाइम ज्यादा वेस्ट हुआ, क्योंकि इसमें there are 3 rates of interest by the branch actually, by the bank. So हमने verify किया कि भाई उस rate के हिसाब से whether the amount came correctly or not. We were surprised to see that everything came rightly to the point. 56 is right here. You can see this 54 and 42 also coming perfectly. 54 and 43 maybe थोड़ा nearing round off हुआ है. This will also help you to tell that we have actually taken care of the items which are there in LFAR. फिर हमने एक छोटा सा sheet बनाया है where information जिससे pending है वो किस से बाकी है. जैसे बैंक से हमने preceding year का audit report मांगा है जो नहीं आया अभी तक. Many a time we forget क्या मांगा है और वो दिए कि नहीं दिए. So this will help you to keep a control on things what you are there. So one partner is taking care of the advances. So advances का review बाकी है. The partner is taking care of LFAR. LFAR में से first 10 points is taken care by him, which is pending. So likewise you can note down things and tomorrow review कि भाई ये काम खत्म हो गया कि नहीं हो गया. If the staff is being assigned something, let's say checking large advances. So this will act as a control sheet for you to tell कि भाई कौन सी चीज अभी तक pending है. अब ये खत्म हो गया तो you have one choice. You can say over और उसको आप नीचे कॉपी कर सकते हो. One choice. या आप क्या कर सकते हो? You can give control 5. Control 5 will strike off the item. So you know कि हमने ये मांगा था और आ गया था. So likewise, small things you can use to get a control on the audit actually. Yeah, Ankit, आपने hand raise किया है. Anything there?
I just have one question. So when we extract any report from the system, right, do we check the completeness and accuracy of that report? And if yes, and also do we check whether it is a customizable report or it is a standard report? If it is a standard report being delivered by the system itself, the testing that we'll be performing will be pretty less as compared to the customizable report, because that is being developed by the bank itself, right? So yeah.
Definitely. The first point you said is we have to 100% verify the accuracy of the report which comes. आपका जो भी फाइनल जैसे लोन बैलेंसिंग फाइल का which I'm going to cover in the next example ले लिया, if that I'm not going to check with my GL, all my analysis is going to be in trouble. You will have to match it with your balance sheet and P&L to see that figures whatever you are doing is matching or not. There might be chances where there is variance because जैसे loans and advances अगर आप total देखोगे so it will cover all the loans and balances, and what you take in the loan balancing file, there are chances 2 or 3 items would have got skipped. The first and foremost which you have seen generally, your ODCC comes in a separate report. आपके normal balancing file में नहीं आता क्योंकि उसके parameters different है. Same thing आपके non-fund based accounts उसमें नहीं आते. So it is upon you to do those analysis and definitely match the complete and accuracy. अगर वो match नहीं हो रहा है, please do not proceed with the completion of the audit. It is not correct on your part to complete the audit if the data are not matching actually. They will have to definitely give reconciliation कि भाई कौन सी item plus या कौन सी item minus होने के कारण वो difference आ रहा है. And it is not difference. It is only the grouping I will say which will create the tallying actually which you have to do. If you are not able to do, talk to the branch. If the branch is not able to do, let them contact the circle office or the head office and get the information for us actually.
Yeah, so there's another question. So before relying on any of the reports coming out of the system, do we also check the IT general controls of that particular application?
For statutory audit, we don't have to do that unless randomly you are finding across something. See, ours is a statutory audit here. But yes, अगर उसमें कुछ trouble आपको दिख रहा है, then you have to. कि सर डेटा यहाँ पे जो फ्लो के यहाँ पे आ रहा है वो सही नहीं आ रहा है, आईटी कंट्रोल्स में वीकनेस है. बट एज फार एज आई एम कंसर्न जो सीबीएस में जो चीजें हैं, the software itself has taken care of a lot of internal controls actually, and we are not doing here the information systems audit, but nevertheless अपने LFR में काफी सारे पॉइंट्स पे वो आईटी कंट्रोल्स का मेंशन है जहां पे अगर आप डिविएशन फाइंड करते हो, you have to definitely note down. That is why he said during our audit we have come across or we have not come across. Now उसी बेसिस पे लेके करना है, वो जरूरी नहीं है अपने लिए.
Okay, so I have never performed bank audit, but I have performed audit of all the major Fortune 500 companies. So wherever I perform any reports testing, we make sure that we cover the IT general controls testing of that particular application. Yeah.
Yes, it has to be. There is one point in LFAR which I feel we should be doing it when we are trying to do the audit, that whether we have come across anything through trial and error, because this is not a specialized audit where you check on only those things actually. जैसे आपने 2-3 रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट की है या आपको जो इन्फॉर्मेशन आया उसमें वो आईटी कंट्रोल्स में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है कि नहीं, वहां तक आप सीमित करके रिपोर्ट दे सकते हो. बिकॉज इफ यू आर गोइंग टू डू एवरीथिंग, इट इज प्रैक्टिकली इम्पॉसिबल टू कंप्लीट द बैंक ऑडिट ऑन टाइम एक्चुअली. नाउ हैविंग सेड दैट मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि क्वालिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना है. इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग दैट देयर आर सम इश्यूज, प्लीज पुट अ ब्रेक, पुट अ पॉज, आप थोड़ा डीपली जाके फिर आप रिपोर्ट कीजिए उसको.
Sure, I will take this offline. Yeah.
Yeah, second thing, do not forget to get the management representation. कई चीजें we rely on the manager. Manager says, sir, हमारा insurance तो head office में they take, we are not having any information. Please make a note here telling that insurance is, yeah, you can use the word as informed by the branch management. Insurance on cash is taken care at head office, because tomorrow you don't know whether it is there or not. So all those points where you are not having documentary evidence, हाँ अगर वो सर्कुलर दे देते हैं सर ये हमारा सर्कुलर है, then you don't have to worry. In fact वो रिटेंशन वाले पॉइंट पे मैंने नोट भी किया है. In one of the banks they did give all the information, so we have given the details also कि भाई ये सर्कुलर के हिसाब से ये अमाउंट है. But if they are not giving information and you have to close the audit on time, you have to rely on the branch management, which you have to use it in the MR and get it in the end when you complete the audit. कई बार हमने देखा है कि अगर हम नोट नहीं करते हैं तो जब ऑडिट फाइनलाइज करते हैं हमको मालूम नहीं रहता है कि कौन से पॉइंट्स MR में डालने हैं. सो प्लीज डू इट देन एंड देयर, सो दैट आप जरूरी नहीं कि पूरे वर्ड्स फ्रेम करो, आप छोटा सा डाल दो कि भाई कैश हाइफन इंश्योरेंस हाइफन HO बस, और बाद में एंड में आप पूरा बना सकते हो कि वर्ड्स को कैसे फ्रेम करने हैं. और से द ब्रांच इज ओनली subject to the following audits. A, concurrent audit. I will say audits during the year. During the year under review बोल सकता हूँ, या during the financial year I can give the year also. Concurrent audit is one. B, I will say inspection. Now, if you observe here, मैंने A और B एक ही cell में I got it in different cell, a different line actually. Many of you will be knowing it, but for the benefit of everybody who doesn't know how to get this A and B
Alt enter.
line of the same cell, perfect. Control enter. And control enter works only when you are having the wrap text on. वो जरूरी
Oh,
है.
sorry, alt enter, right?
Yeah, alt enter, not control enter, alt enter. Now, say अगर जैसे यहाँ पे दो चीजें हैं A, B, C, D, E, R, T, Y. I am using this function to add these two by using the AND symbol. ये मेरे को ऐसे आ रहा है, ये मेरे को दो लाइंस पे चाहिए तो कैसे पॉसिबल है?
कौन सा वाला? Sorry, can you repeat it?
I have given a formula here. This is my formula. Sorry. मैंने B19 और B20 को add. I just try to concatenate it actually. I want this A, B, C, D in one line and E, R, T, Y in one line. Now your control enter here आप डालोगे तो work नहीं करेगा वो. Because control enter works only when there are no formulas or no function.
Alt enter, yeah.
So if you are very keen to do that, there is one small function you can learn. After and you can say CHAR, which is character of open bracket 10 close, and don't forget to give and. Now if I double click, you will see that it has come in the next line. So you should know sometimes आपका reporting easy हो जाता है, नहीं तो ये सारी चीजें manually करना is impossible to do. In fact, this is the function I've used in that attendance also. कि एक डेट के नीचे एक दूसरा डेट आ जाता है अपने आप. Where I've given this character 10, automatically उसी सेल में वो alt enter आ जाता है. Alt enter is what we use manually. CHAR of 10 is where we want to embed this function in the formulas actually. So fine. Next we'll go to one of the points in LFAR. Yeah. Anybody is asking something? No. Okay. So next one of the point in LFAR is they want you to do the audit of all the advances which are in excess of 10% of outstanding aggregate balances of the both fund based and non-fund based, or 10 crore, whichever is less. How to arrive at that particular value? For example, say I'm having the information of the total loans. I'm having the total loans in ODCC category, and then the non-fund based category. I'll just do a normal sum and then say minimum of 10% into my total advances, comma 10 crores. 10 comma. So my threshold limit for my audit to identify which loans are large advances is 8.49 crores. So about the branch size is 85 crores. Any loan which is beyond 8.49 crores, it is classified as large advances. My documentation, my other points in LFAR will be working based on this limit. If there is no such thing, there are no large advances, you can pick things whichever you want. One more thing point in LFAR they are given this time is you will have to tell how many loans or accounts you have examined. Last पुराने LFAR में वो नहीं था, आप जो बोलोगे वो सही था, but इस बार आपसे कमिटमेंट ले रहे हैं कि ये अकाउंट हमने वेरीफाई किया है. तो अगर उसमें आपने कोई बड़ा अकाउंट मिस कर दिया है तो देयर कैन बी ट्रबल फॉर यू एज एन ऑडिटर दैट you have missed to basically verify an account which is supposed to be audited. So that is where the next item which I'm going to cover, where we are going to convert the data into columns and also help to see भाई कौन से samples pick करने हैं ताकि अपने audit जो opinion दे रहे हैं, we are also safe to tell that these are the samples I verified and based on this मैं मेरा audit opinion place कर रहा हूँ. So we'll immediately go to that particular thing. I've given one raw data notepad file actually. You can take that file and then using Control A, select the entire file. Ankit, you are telling about that. See, now this has the total loan advances. This I will match in my Excel first, and later I will see my GL is also tallying with that. If my GL and this balance is having a difference, I definitely need to ask the bank कि सर ये figure में फर्क क्यों है, कौन-कौन से accounts में miss कर रहा हूँ. Because many times bank will then tell sir इसमें ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, ये staff loan account इसमें add नहीं हुआ है, ये add हो गया है. So it is always see that the controls and checks and balances अपने को ध्यान देना है मतलब. So now
did you extract this using the SQL command or how did you
Excel and compare with GL? You don't have to go with SQL command at all. आपको जो reports आती है और आपको balance sheet से match करना है कि वो report मेल खा रही है कि नहीं खा रही है. If the figures are telling, you just don't go need to go technically at all.
Yeah, so we can discuss this again offline. We do it separately. Like
no, you can do it. I'm not telling. See, I always tell you when you're driving a car, you must know when to call a mechanic. If you are good in, you also can go 2-3 steps further. Okay, now I will select the entire data in the notepad. Control C. Go to my Excel sheet. I'll give Control V. Now, जब हमने वो cash balance का data लिया था, it was all structured. I got my date correctly. I got my cash balance correctly. But here, if you see, everything is in one cell. The पूरा data एक ही cell में है. Now I have to slice it to see that I get the meaningful data. तो ये पहले तो आपको ये report study करनी है एक बार कि भाई इसमें information क्या-क्या है. You can just scroll through once to you will get an idea, or आप Excel में convert करने के बाद भी check कर सकते हो, not an issue. I will just close the unnecessary files. Yeah. So now I will try to slice this into a meaningful information. So what I have to do is I will just select the particular column which is there, go to data, and then there is an option known as convert text to columns. This will open the dialog box. Yeah. Now there are two options, delimited or fixed width. अगर आपका डेटा कोई particular comma या pipe symbol या कोई और symbol से segregate हुआ है तो you can select delimited and work. But most of the reports I learned is not available in delimited. You have to do it through fixed width by spending some time so that the data becomes very structured. So I'll say fixed width and say next. In fact, यहाँ पे कुछ information top वाली मेरे को confuse कर रही है, so I will come back and remove these also because जरूरी नहीं है, but to make our life easier, I'll remove the unnecessary items on the top so that मेरा header वाला जो row है वो top में रहेगा. I will delete it. Now I will say data text to columns, fixed width yes. I don't know why it is automatically throwing certain things. Okay, select in UI. I have to select the entire data first, then go to text to columns. Now it has come like this. Select fixed width, go to next. Now I will slice it one by one to see whether my data is getting properly sliced or not. यहाँ पे serial number है, यहाँ पे click किया, I've got an arrow. I will put one more arrow here just after the old account number and here after the new account number. Now I can see when customer code and name is, they have given it together. I can segregate here itself so that my life becomes easier when I do the analysis. और कस्टमर कोड में मेरे को डेसिमल्स की जरूरत नहीं, तो मैं यहाँ पे पिक कर लेता हूँ, और उन्होंने स्लैश दिया है वहां तक पिक कर लेता हूँ, बिकॉज दीज आर इंफॉर्मेशन आई डोंट वांट. Then I will select the open date, close it, or maybe I will select in this column. और जो अगर मैंने गलती से कुछ सेलेक्ट कर लिया तो I can double click and remove it. So I will go to rate of interest and liability and say finish. Control A and double click between A and B to see whether I've got all my information intact or not. So let me just review casually to see whether कहीं कोई चीज आगे पीछे या क्रॉस तो नहीं हुई है, मतलब between the cells. And you must spend little bit time to see that. Here you can see. Can you see this? This is jumbled. ये 5 जो यहाँ पे आना था यहाँ आ गया है. So there are possibilities that ऐसे बहुत सारे information ये यहाँ पे भी है. So somewhere things could have gone wrong. So the way out is do the exercise again. So I'll give Control Z to reverse my things. Go to text to columns, data, text to columns, fixed width, say next, slice the information again. You need to have a lot of patience only for one time. क्योंकि उसके बाद अगर things सही हो गई तो it's very easy for you to get the structured data for your analysis. अब यहाँ पे क्या करूंगा, जब rate of interest I know that there are 1 or 2 columns which overshot my things, I will purposely leave 2 rows and then select. This is the small change I have did from the previous working to see that there is no interchange of data between 2 different columns. Now I'll say finish. Control A, click between A and B, auto justify, auto hide हो गया है. Now let me run through to see is there any trouble with the columns. So this looks now good to go. Now next step is to sanitize this data. Almost I've got the data which I want. Now my job is to remove the unnecessary lines. Like we did last time, let me see first by applying the filter. I select the entire row A to J, shift control. Can somebody help me with the formula which we did in the last example? To select the entire data range, shift control. Except Ankit ji, somebody should answer. Control shift. How to select? Yeah, perfect. Control shift end. So I'll give control shift end. I've got all my data picked. I will apply filter. I can use either the ribbon or use the shortcut, whichever you are comfortable. Now I will go to the serial number and see what is the information available. Luckily, in my case, I have the serial numbers. So what I can do is I can just say sort smallest to largest. Agar ye nahi hai, then I have to deselect everything and then select the ranges which I don't want. You can make out with these items that these are the items I don't want. And say okay. And then do a review. अब यहाँ पे देखोगे तो कुछ product के names भी आ रहे हैं जो अपने को जरूरी है. So I will go select again and deselect that because that is something I need it. So product वाला ये column निकाल देता हूँ. Now let me do the review to see whether anything is required. ये जरूरत नहीं है. So what I will do is I will select the entire range, right click and say delete row, and then remove the filter. Okay, एक और space रह गया गलती से. So control Z. I should have selected the blank also. So now right click because it is already selected and say delete row. few space है वो भी मैं remove कर देता हूँ. Right click, delete row. Now remove the filter and see whether my data is intact or not. Perfect. Now I'll do filtering. मैं पहले भी कर सकता था sorting, but now I'll do the sorting. And say smallest to largest. So मेरा पूरे loan की details आ गई है. And let me go and see whether I've got all the product codes perfectly or not in the end. Yes. So I'll copy these product codes in a separate sheet so that it doesn't disturb my original data. Control X, insert new worksheet and say Control V. So here now let me review कि और कोई चीजें जो जरूरत नहीं है, I can delete it. So there is no trouble with serial number. Perfectly it has come, no blanks. There is no old account number. So I'll remove this. Now new account number, I'm not getting the numbers properly because it has got more than 12 characters and it is throwing me some plus 12. So what I can do is I can select the entire B row, go to home and select number and remove the decimals. You can even do it using format cells. No, I don't want this code wala thing. I'll remove this. So I've got the customer code. In fact, I can remove the comma also. Because customer code doesn't need to have a comma. Name, open date, LOP, AOD date, rate of interest, liabilities, fine, perfect. So whatever columns I don't require, I've removed it so that my data is there for ready for analysis. Now I'll go to the sheet 1 first to complete this particular thing. Now I don't want the column A because some product is coming, I'll delete. This I'm interested. Column B I'm not interested. Here if you observe, यहाँ पे कुछ error आ गया है. ये error क्यों आया? If you double click, यहाँ पे आगे एक hyphen दिया था उन्होंने. Hyphen, the system assumes that it is minus. उसके बाद minus के बाद आपको कोई number देना था, आपने गलती से text दे दिया है. So one way is I can remove this hyphen and equal to, which will appear like this. Or what I can do is I will try to double click and remove this equal to symbol and give apostrophe. The apostrophe will be there inside Excel, but it will not appear on the data. Now what I will do is I need to join this B, C, D, E, F. F में Control A. No, not yes, only E. B, C, D, E को मेरे को join करना है. Can somebody now tell me what are the ways to join this B, C, D, E rows? I mean columns. ये पूरा मेरा data है.
Concatenate or you can use and as well.
Okay, so there are two ways I can do. One is using concatenate, one is using and symbol. So we'll do both. Equal to E2, sorry, we'll use concatenate first. Concatenate open bracket, B2 comma C2 comma D2 comma E2 close bracket. I double click. So double click is not working. Why this double click is not working now?
Cell blank है, left का cell blanks हैं.
Exactly. Whenever you're using this double click, there must be some data on the left or right. अगर वो blank है तो work नहीं करेगा. I have to do it manually only. So concatenate में आ गया. We will try to do using and also equal to B2 and C2 and D2 and E2. I can select or I can type, both are okay. So in by this way also I have got. And in fact, somebody in the chat box has rightly put it. And there is one newer age to one newer age, which also I'll cover once I complete this first. So now, if I remove this data, my other data is going to get affected because it is relying on this data only. So to make this data independent, what I will do a paste special so that this data becomes independent of the original data. So I will say select the data, Control C, right click. You can type SV, which will paste special, or right click, select paste special and say values. Now if I delete these items, I don't have any problem. I've got my data here intact. Okay, before that, since we wanted to cover this concat function, which is again a newer age function, where here अगर 4 column था तो मेरे को manually type करना पड़ा कि equal to B2, C2, D2, etc. There is one function known as equal to concat, CONCAT, open bracket. You just have to select the range B, C, D, E. आपको टाइप करने की जरूरत नहीं है और क्लोज कर देना है, आपको वही आउटपुट आ जाएगा. And if you have carefully observed,
similar to some
data got missed here.
नहीं जो sum वाला function होता है ना, to some
नहीं वो
figures.
Column B में there should have been something. How I don't know how it got deleted.
Okay.
I don't know, accidentally it has got deleted. Or let me just go to the notepad file, Control F619. Let me pick the other words then. NANCE. Control of NANCE. It is actually housing finance. So now it has come housing finance. To maintain uniformity, I'll put those colon equal to also. In fact, ये delete हो गया था, but otherwise you will get it. Now यहाँ पे एक चीज fill करने के बजाय I could have used this concat functions where it's very easy because I just have to select the entire range. तो ये मैं delete कर देता हूँ और इस पे अभी paste special apply कर देता हूँ. Control C, right click, paste special, values, okay. And now I will delete these items. I've got my data correctly. Is there any problem with this data or everything is fine? There is a small colon and a space coming. I don't want that because it should start with whatever that category is. How to overcome that?
Control H, you can remove that, replace.
Okay, one way is Control F and replace. Perfect. Any other way out?
You can use delimit itself.
Yes.
Use this
you can
as
go to data, text to columns.
Yes.
And then slice भी कर सकते हो. Straight, sorry, back. Fixed with. नहीं, delimit is dangerous, Ankit, because मैंने space डाल दिया तो वो पूरा jumble हो जाएगा. So I cannot use.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Be very careful which of the thing you are using. So I select this.
Correct.
So finish. So here, unnecessary things I can remove, and I've got the data perfectly sanitized. Or as somebody rightly said, I will use Control F also and show it to you.
Trim will remove only the space, right? But not this colon or other things, right?
Pardon?
Trim will remove only the spaces, right?
Yes, trim function cannot be of help here. So Control F, colon, space, replace with nothing, and say replace all. अब यहाँ पे because I gave colon and space, only where it is together it has replaced, other space it has kept intact. So that is the power of Excel, that it doesn't see things separately, but whatever things you have given jointly. So ye ho gaya mera information. Now here I need to get only the codes 603, 619, 621. इसके भी 3-4 options है, you can do it. One way already I have told you, आप text to columns में जाके slice कर सकते हो, उससे आ जाएगा.
Left wala.
Other way out?
Yeah, left formula. Yeah, sorry,
No,
right wala.
left.
I just need only the 3
Right.
last digits.
Right.
Yes.
Open bracket. Select the cell and tell how many characters you need from the end. So you can say comma 3 because मेरे को 3 characters चाहिए. So I have got this 3 characters in the end. Is there any other way out? There is something known as flash fill. So I will just type 603. Again, ये new age tool है. आपका अगर Excel
Yes,
advanced है तो ही work करेगा. After typing 603, I will just give Control E. All my data is there in a flash. मेरे को कोई formula डालने की जरूरत नहीं, टाइप करने की जरूरत नहीं. एक खाली मैंने बाजू में डेटा रखे, खाली 603 टाइप किया, which Excel itself understands that आप ये 3 लेना चाहते हो. Just give Control E. I got my answer. And beauty is no pay special required because जो डेटा मेरे को चाहिए डायरेक्ट मिल गया मुझे. I'll remove this column which is not required. Now I know which category, what type of loan it is. We'll go back to our loan summary file. Now that I've got the data intact, I will just do a pivot to see how we can structure this data and take the result. So I will, before that, I need to know कि ये जो एक loan है कौन सी category का belong करता है, because here no information is available about the category. How to get the loan category from the loan number?
Maybe starting with 4 or 6, there may be some.
If you read the pattern, you will get to know कि मेरे first 4 digits bank के code है, next 3 digits मेरे product code है और बाकी के जो 6-7 digit है वो account number है. Now I need to pick only 603 here actually. So one I can type 603, Control E. Yes, I've got it. But जो नया version use नहीं कर रहे हैं उनके लिए क्या रास्ता है? How to get the 603 using function or formula? I can use slicer also and get it.
Right.
Equal to?
Right or left?
Right work नहीं करेगा.
नहीं करेगा.
Left, right एक और function है. There is one function known as mid. MID mid. So
okay.
Open bracket, select the data, comma. It is telling which number you want to start with. Start number. तो मेरे को चाहिए 5th digit. Because first 4 are bank code, the 5th is the product code. So I'll say 5, comma. Then I need only 3 characters. I will say 3, close. Now if I double click, I will get the entire code separate. Now what I will do is I will do a paste special because I don't want this data to be dynamic but static. Control C, right click, paste special, values. Okay. So we have got the product code. Now what we will do is we'll insert one more sheet and try to do a pivot. I'll go to insert. Say pivot table is asking select the table or range. I click the arrow, go to the loan summary file, select from A to I and give Control Shift down arrow. My entire data is selected. I give enter and give enter, but I'm getting an error. This is a common mistake which we all do when we do a pivot. Can somebody see this table and tell me what is the error here?
Maybe some heading is not there. There are some blank.
Perfect. हमने जब ये code 603 डाला, we forgot to give a heading to that. So the 603 ये जो C1 जो blank है वो C1 जो cell है वो blank है. The moment there is a blank header, pivot will not work, which is a common mistake which we do when we try to work on pivot. So I will say code. Now I will redo this exercise and see whether it is working right or not. Pivot. In fact, जरूरी नहीं कि मैं sheet में जाकर ही select करूं. I can first जहां data है वहां पे भी select करके insert pivot डाल सकता हूं and then select the range, shift control down arrow. And then here there is an option telling new worksheet or existing worksheet. I can say new worksheet just for our benefit, or particular कोई cell में चाहिए तो वहां पे आप cell भी डाल सकते हैं. So I'll say new worksheet. It has ignored that old worksheet and thrown me a new worksheet. Now I want to first know the categories of loans. So I will say select code. So ये मेरे loans में जितने भी categories है वो आ गए. Now what I will do, I am more interested in knowing the count. So ये codes को select करके I will drag it and put it in the values. Now automatically I've got the count of the codes. Now what I'm interested in knowing how much is the exposure of this bank in this category. So I'll just single click liability. I've got my sum of liability also. Now pivot sometimes does not work when there are kind of pivots. So what I will do is I will select this, do a paste special values for me to do the analysis. I will remove the total or select the total on the top and put a filter and divide it from the smallest to largest. And I will say equal to this divide by this to know the percentage. I log G1 because I want the total advance to be perfectly same for all the things. I will say percentage. Now you can see if I just take care of one particular category 842, that actually takes care of my 78% of my loan advances. So I'll do a Vlookup or probably X lookup, which is easier for me to get the category here. Lookup, comma, go to the sheet where we have did these things ready for us. Now I should only select the lookup array, which is this A, comma, B, close. Okay. Please throwing me an error because this is in text and this is in number maybe. So I will convert this to number. Now let me do this exercise again. X lookup, open bracket, lookup value, comma, go to the new sheet, select A, comma, result I want to get. Here also I'm getting error. So I will redo this. Is there any way other out? अगर कई बार हमने देखा है कि जब आप कोशिश करते हो डेटा को कन्वर्ट करने का एक्चुअली कन्वर्ट नहीं होता है. Especially it happens in date. आपका डेट कॉलम कई बार अटक जाता है तो वर्क नहीं होता है. So what you can do is
F2 and enter.
Select the range, go to data, text to column, and just select date format and say finish. Now मेरा date, in fact date नहीं था, but for Excel the date is only number actually. So now you see I've got all the numbers and automatically the result has come now. पहले क्या था, एक टेक्स्ट और एक नंबर था तो कंफ्यूजन था, इसलिए वो नहीं हो रहा था. The moment I use text to columns and then kept on going next, last screen में आएगा डेट, आप सेलेक्ट कर दीजिए, आपको रिजल्ट आ जाएगा. ये जब भी आप डेट फॉर्मेट में आपको प्रॉब्लम होती है, you use this way, 99% of the time you will get it right actually. This is a nice way of getting your data back to the format of the date. If you don't have, मैंने यहाँ पे भी यूज कर लिया ये. और the alternative way to do was, I will show you the alternative way. I will give Control Z, यहाँ पे एक insert करूँगा, फिर इसको मैं multiply by 1 करूँगा, ताकि ये डेट फॉर्मेट में आ जाए। फिर मैं यहाँ पे क्या करूंगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ लुकअप वैल्यू दिस आई विल से F4, देन आई विल गेट माई रिजल्ट। चॉइस इज योर्स। जैसे मैंने कहा कि देयर इज नो वन वे ऑफ डूइंग थिंग्स बट मल्टीपल वे ऑफ डूइंग थिंग्स। नाउ इफ यू ऑब्जर्व, there are two categories which are not there at all. Now we later learned that these were some old staff accounts. This category was not there in the list actually. There was some merger of some staff loans category which was there. So now मेरे को ये 1428 अकाउंट्स में मेरा पूरा ध्यान देना है इस पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी वाले में, 842 कैटेगरी. So if I go to 842, you can see that there are 1428 accounts with the exposure of 22 crores. So now what I have to do is I just have to double click this. You can see मेरा पूरा 1428 accounts separate Excel sheet में आ गया है. This is the power of pivot. I don't have to give any formula or pick the information from the full file. Now I give Control A, spread the data.
Alt HOI.
Now what I will do is I will go to the top and say please pick me the largest to smallest. तो ये जो मेरे samples है top 10 I can select. Top 1, top 2, and I will say let me pick top 10 samples. ये मेरे basis रहेगा कि भाई ये अकाउंट मेरे को verify करना है कि everything is good here or not. If there are any trouble, then I will drill down more samples. Second, what I will do, I will go to the open date and say here also you fill from newest to oldest. ये देखिए ये हमने जो data sanitization किया था इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ कर दी. So here if you come across something मेरे को manually अभी change करना पड़ेगा. So now I'll redo this telling that oldest to newest. Sorry, newest to oldest. तो ये कुछ अकाउंट्स है जो करंट ईयर में डिस्बर्स हुए हैं. So I will say current year 1, current year 2. Maybe I will pick 5 samples. कि भाई last 5 या I can select randomly also कि भाई current year 6, something like that. Now what I will do, I will remove the blanks and assign this to say Ramesh. Will take care of all these loans. Now what happens, what would have taken a lot of time where हम randomly कुछ ना कुछ check कर रहे होते हैं, you exactly know कि आप कौन से accounts check कर रहे हो, and tomorrow this will help you to prepare your LFAR also very easily कि भाई आपने कौन से accounts examine किए हैं और इन accounts में आपको पूरा ध्यान देना है. You are not supposed to miss anything on that actually. Any doubts in this, friends? कुछ है तो आप you can put it. I know most of you by now all would have been good in this text to columns, but it is only a refreshing, or there are 2-3 techniques where you can in a different way to get things. And as I told you, there is no one way out. There are so many ways where you can get the results actually. Likewise, बैंक में आपको क्विक मोर्टालिटी फाइंड करनी है कि भाई कुछ लोन्स जो उसी साल एनपीए हुए हैं, say like 31st March 2000, sorry, I put the opening date. 1st April 21 is my starting year. So let me say equal to if this date minus this date is less than 365, then those accounts are all got bad in the same year they have got disbursed. अगर वो नहीं है तो I can say okay. Okay, I have to log this. D2, I have to log it. No, everything is coming as QM. फिर तो मैंने फॉर्मूला गलत दिया है. if C4 minus the begin date is less than 365, okay. ये भी सही है, ये क्यों आ रहा है? Okay, I should have given it the other way. Equal to if this date is below 1st April, मतलब पहले अप्रैल के अंदर ही अगर ये आ गया है, then I will say QM or say okay. Sorry, it should be the other way. This should be okay and this should be, or I will change the symbol. और मेरे को ओके भी नहीं करना है तो मैं खाली डबल कोट्स डाल के भी छोड़ सकता हूं, सो दैट मेरे को डेटा थोड़ा क्लियरली दिखेगा कि भाई मेरे को कौन सा वेरीफाई करना है. So there are only 2 accounts which have got into the QM category. In fact, no, there are some more. I forgot to use the lock. So I know which accounts are got into quick mortality. You can alternatively do other way also. Dates को आप select करके conditional formatting में you can say highlight cell rules which is less than or greater than आप डालोगे तो भी आएगा, और date occurring. In fact, 1 year नहीं है. You can write a formula for that. Say, let me say just next this month and say okay. Or go to conditional formatting. Go to the new rule. Function में you can give the same function what we have given here. So there are multiple ways where you can do it. Choice is yours. The simplest thing is to use the if function. जैसे मैंने कहा कई बार it is the if function which will help you to do things. I will quickly run you through my other file, though I'm not going to cover for want of time. But this is a file which I use it for general audits. कि आपको audit में Excel को कैसे use करना है. I've given a lot of small sheets which you can do yourself to see how it works. And probably I can, if there is anything further, you can send me through things through email, which I'll be happily taking and sharing you the information. Like how if function works, how this absolute and relative function works, Vlookup. This is one nice tool which everybody wants you to use is date difference. अब ये date difference function क्या है? This DATE open bracket begin date comma end date and then you give the parameter. So here say today is 2nd April 22 equal to date difference open bracket begin date comma end date comma. अगर मैं डबल कोट्स में खाली y डालता हूं तो टेल मी एग्जैक्टली कितने years हुए इसमें. आई विल कॉपी दिस फॉर्मूला एंड देन नेक्स्ट ट्राई टू जस्ट कैलकुलेट द नंबर ऑफ मंथ्स. ये नॉर्मल एक्सेल डेट के डिफरेंस में पॉसिबल नहीं है फाइंड करना. The only thing which you will be able to find is only this one 27259. ये एक ही चीज आप डिफरेंस में फाइंड कर पाओगे. So here I will give YD, here I will give YM and here I will give MD. What it does is YD में it ignores the year as if they were in the same year और फिर डिफरेंस कितना है डेज में बताता है. सेम थिंग यहाँ पे वो ईयर को इग्नोर करके मंथ कितने बताते हैं. सो यू विल बी एबल टू टेल एग्जैक्टली भाई कौन सा कितना साल का ये पेंडिंग है. सो आई कैन गिव नाउ इन एक ही इसमें फंक्शन डाल सकता हूं कि दिस इज डिलेड बाय विद इन डबल कोट्स एंड say 74 years and within double quotes years close quotes and 7 months and double quotes open months and 18 days. So delayed by 74 years. अगर मेरे को यहाँ पे स्पेस बीच में चाहिए तो यहाँ पे एक स्पेस दे सकता हूँ. 7 के आगे भी एक स्पेस चाहिए तो मैं ES के पीछे एक स्पेस कर सकता हूँ. So एक बार आप टाइम स्पेंड करके अगर फॉर्मूला पे ध्यान दे देंगे, it will be easy for you to get results where how in the way you want actually. I've just tried to, pivot already we covered. Given a small tool for you to find whether the PAN number is right or not. In fact, वो PAN का base नहीं find करेगा, but alphanumeric columns को find करके it will tell you that whether the PAN number is right or not actually. I've given a small function how to find the second and fourth Saturday actually, given a date. There are new age functions known as test join, duplicate को restrict कैसे करना है, unique sort filter sequence. These are all new age tools, not exactly required for the bank audit, but this will help you to do things with a lot of ease. Probably sometime we'll have a separate session on these audit tools where you can work out wonders. And I've also tried to tell what are the other areas where you can use Excel. You can do a pivot and find the interest rate variance. कि भाई उस particular category में interest range पूरे साल में कौन सा use किया है. अगर उसमें variance ज़्यादा है तो please inquire कि भाई क्यों ज़्यादा है. Sanctioning limit authority उन्होंने exit की है कि नहीं की है. Where अगर delegation of powers exit किया है तो head office का sanction है कि नहीं है. Customer ID में if there are multiple loan, then you can know that the customer is enjoying multiple facilities. You need to check those accounts. Valuation has to be done for NPA accounts once in 3 years, which the bank misses. So you can get the NPA report and put a simple if function to see that once in 3 years उनका NPA valuation हुआ कि नहीं उस accounts में. Next important thing, आपके monthly SMA accounts. Please don't rely on the report given by the bank. आप last 3 महीने का SMA accounts लीजिए, the special monitoring accounts. उसमें अगर कोई loan account बाहर गया है, please go to that account and verify whether genuinely the customer has paid or there has been restructuring done properly. अगर उसमें कुछ flaws है, तो you can always report to tell that whether there is any problem in restructuring. Many places we have seen customer traceable नहीं है, bank ने खुद restructuring कर दिया. So those things we have to take care to see that when we give our audit opinion, we are fairly comfortable कि भाई ये चीज सही है, ये चीज सही नहीं है. So if you do that, I'm very sure with technology and with our knowledge of CAs, where we always exercise professional skepticism, the best will come out in our report actually. So thank you all for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Really, it was a wonderful VCM and we have learned lots of formulas. Before we conclude, I would like to request CA Hemant Lohiya ji for official vote of thanks. Hemant ji.
Myself, CA Hemant Lohiya, CICASA Chairman, on behalf of Jodhpur branch of CICASA, would like to thank for today's speaker, CA Dungur Jain, for his wonderful deliberation on Excel tool for bank audit in a practical and lucid language, which will be very helpful in our bank audit and other assignment also. I would also like to thank management committee members and technical team for their support and arrangement. Thanks. Over to sir.
Thank you, Hemant ji. I would like to thank all the participants for patience hearing. Sir, shall we conclude, sir? Thank you. Mobuji, please end the meeting.